Welcome to Common Man Cocktails. I'm your host, Derek Schomer. Little different perspective today because we're going to be making what I hope to be a drink that will, or a spirit, a liqueur that's going to taste a little bit like Midori. This is the Midori bottle. Some people have a hard time getting this, so I got a honeydew. Put that together, the honeydew melon, and see if I can get something of a Midori taste out of it. And that will reduce your costs because it's not a really expensive thing to make, and some people can't even get it. So if you can get yourself a honeydew melon, you're already halfway there. You're also going to want to probably be able to puree that thing to look like this. It's like a juice now. I put it in a little puree blender thing. If you have a blender and you don't have a machine that chops it up to a nice fine juice, use a blender. And from that, we can start to build a recipe. And so this recipe is going to call for 3/4 of that honeydew. I'm using the whole thing because honeydews come in different sizes. Mine look a little small, and I like it. I like honeydew, so I use a little extra. 3 cups and 1 ounce. So there's 3 cups, 2 tablespoons, I think, of vodka. So I've got my base vodka. Well, really, it's a neutral spirit because you're going to be adding the flavor. So you don't want to use something else. You want to use something neutral. So I'm going to use Absolute. Like it. It was cheaper than Tito's, which is an American Texas vodka, so we went with that. Tito's. For those that don't know what Tito's looks like, it's this. This is what I would have used had it been cheaper than the Absolute. It wasn't, so there's our base spirit. So you're going to use your Absolute. We got 3 cups, 1 ounce. I'm going to split it into 2 jars because I couldn't find one big uber jar for this, so 2 jars. I take all the ingredients and split them in half so that they drop evenly. Even the food coloring, which if you need food coloring for this, you're going to want a green and a yellow. So you get your green and your yellow because you want to get this color out of it. You've got your sugars. There you go. I split them in half for you. Put these together. That's a crap load of sugar for a single bottle. That is why alcohol is not healthy for you. One reason, at least. So what we've got is we got our sugar, we got our vodkas, we got our melon, pureed, split in half. Let's see, is there anything else that I got listed? No, that's about it. So what we're going to do is we're going to take 3 cups and 1 ounce of vodka, and we're going to take our sugar, and we're going to then add our dyes in here and see how it comes out. We're going to seal them too. That way we can shake them, because the sugar in this case, I'm just going to pour it right in here. We're going to literally just add the sugar. Typically I use a simple syrup, but that's going to add additional water to this recipe, and I don't really think you need that. So that and the recipe called for just sugar. Layer it on top. So there you go. You got your sugar. You've got, I mean, that's the sweet Midori flavor right there. It's your melon sweetness. Then we'll do our, let's see, I'm going to do 1.5 cups and a half ounce in each of these. So 1.5 cups. La, la, la. There's 1.5 cups. Let's hope it fits in this jar. Oh, sweet. And then a half ounce, also known as a tablespoon. We'll do it on this one. Of course, you can simplify this if you have a system, pretty windy, if you have a system or a glass jar that's big enough. And you will have extra vodka. You can make, I don't know, screwdrivers if you want. Or do whatever else you normally do with vodka. Half ounce. Threw that in there. Now, I'm going to do, let's see, 5 drops. Now, this recipe originally calls for like half drops, and when you split it even further into 2, like 1/4 of a drop. You can't do that. At least, if you can, you need to teach me, because I guess I could drop it into like a measuring thing and really measure it out. So I just rounded to the nearest hole. So I'm going to take the yellow, I'm going to do 5 drops of yellow. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 5 drops here. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And then green. Ready? We're going to do 6 of green. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 6. Done. We're finished. We're going to let this sit for a week or so. I'm going to let it sit until I think it's tasty. And we're going to strain out the melon. Because the melon, although it's pureed, there's still some chunky bits in there. You want a liquid. Shake that up. You want to shake it until that sugar dissolves. None of my ingredients are cold, so it's not like it's going to sink right to the bottom. And I'd also go along every day and shake it. Stick it someplace where you'll remember it's there. Shake it like this. Put it down. Shake the other one. Put it down, walk away. Maybe you come home from work, give it a couple more shakes, put it down, and you're good to go. Then, after your week, or whenever you keep tasting it after that first week until you get to that flavor you're looking for, then you're going to either strain it through like we've always done with a coffee filter or whatever. I'm not going to bother going through how we filter it. What I'll do is when I do get the initial or the final product, I'll tell you how I managed to do it successfully, so you don't have to sit here and watch me filter. There's still, you can see the sugar kind of, there are clumps of sugar floating around, or actually maybe those are Midori bits. But it does have a nice green, and once you get rid of the Midori, well, the sugar will fall to the bottom, I see it. Once you get that filtered out so it's not so opaque, it'll be more clear. I'm guessing it's going to look like that. So there you go. That is the stage 1 of making our own homemade Midori or melon liqueur, because I doubt Midori is going to like it labeling it. So our homemade melon liqueur, hopefully this comes out good, because, I don't know, I didn't really invest that much. Let's say I think this was $14, plus sugar, it's like $3 for like a big jar, some food coloring things, a couple bucks. It should be quite tasty and quite inexpensive. Guys, we're teaching you how to make homemade melon liqueur. I hope.